7 strategies that can help you regulate your emotions. There are a number of emotion regulation strategies that people can master to build their coping skills. It is important to consider which strategies are most useful and which ones to avoid. There are 2 broad categories of emotional regulation. The first is reappraisal, changing how we think about something in order to change our response. The second is suppression, which is linked to more negative outcomes. Research indicates that ignoring our emotions is associated with dissatisfaction and poor well-being. Let's look at 7 strategies that can help to manage emotions in a healthy and helpful way. Number 1, identify and reduce triggers. You shouldn't try to avoid negative emotions or be afraid of them, but you also don't have to keep putting yourself in a situation that brings on unpleasant emotions. Start to look for patterns or factors that are present when you start to feel strong emotions. This requires some curiosity and honesty. Strong emotions often spring up out of our deep-seated insecurities, especially the ones we hide. What is happening around you, and what past experiences does this bring up for you? Number 2, tune into physical symptoms. Pay attention to how you are feeling, including whether you are feeling hungry or tired. These factors can exacerbate your emotions and cause you to interpret your emotions more strongly. If you can address the underlying issue, whether it's hunger or exhaustion, you can change your emotional response. Number 3, consider the story you are telling yourself. In the absence of information, we fill in the blanks with details of our own. Perhaps you are feeling rejected after you haven't heard from a family member. You believe it is because they no longer care about you. Before you make these attributions, ask yourself, what other explanations might be possible? In the example of the family member, what else could be going on with them that would stop them from reaching out to you? Could they be busy or sick? Are they a well-intentioned person who often forgets to follow through on commitments? Number 4, engage in positive self-talk. When our emotions feel overwhelming, our self-talk can become negative. I messed up again, or everyone else is so awful. If you treat yourself with empathy, you can replace some of this negative talk with positive comments. Try encouraging yourself by saying, I always try hard, or people are doing the best they can. This shift can help mitigate the emotions we're feeling. You can still be frustrated with a situation that isn't working, but no longer have to assign blame or generalize it beyond the situation. Number 5, make a choice about how to respond. In most situations, we have a choice about how to respond. If you tend to respond to feelings of anger by lashing out at people, you'll likely notice the negative impact it is having on your relationships. You might also notice that it doesn't feel good, or it feels good at the moment, but the consequences are painful. Next time you feel anger or fear, recognize that you get to choose how you want to respond. That recognition is powerful. Rather than lashing out, can you try a different response? Is it possible for you to tell someone that you're feeling angry rather than speaking harshly to them? Get curious about what will happen if you switch up your responses. How did you feel? How did the other person respond? Number 6, look for positive emotions. Human beings naturally attribute more weight to negative emotions than positive ones. This is known as negativity bias. Negative emotions like disgust, anger, and sadness tend to carry a lot of weight. Positive feelings like contentment, interest, and gratitude are quieter. Making a habit of noticing these positive experiences can boost resilience and well-being. How are the strategies so far? If you're enjoying the reading of this article, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more content curation on topics related to mental health, wellness, and positivity. Lastly, we have the final strategy for helping to regulate our emotions. Number 7, seek a therapist. Managing our own emotions can be difficult. It requires a high degree of self-awareness. When we're having a hard time, our emotional self-regulation begins to suffer. Sometimes we need a therapist who can help us better learn self-regulation skills. Let's recap the 7 strategies to help regulate our emotions. Number 1, identify and reduce triggers. Number 2, notice physical symptoms. Number 3, observe your thoughts and reconsider the narrative you are telling yourself. Number 4, engage in positive self-talk to shift your perspective from blame. Number 5, make a choice about how to respond and reconsider your actions. Number 6, look for positive emotions and become aware of your own negativity bias. Number 7, explore your options with a therapist in how to manage and regulate your emotions. I hope this was very helpful for you and in the least bit insightful. Thank you so much for tuning in, my scholars, and I'll see you next time on YouTube.